is Brenda Kahler, and I lead our nonprofit client engagement efforts here at Armanino. Today, I'm back with Grant Ballard, the Chief Science Officer at Point Blue Conservation Science. So Grant, I know Point Blue has been doing conservation and restoration work for a long time, but in what ways has the global pandemic impacted your work?
It has been such a crazy year, but overall, we've come out of it, and we're not all the way out of it, but looks like the light at the end of the tunnel is visible now. And basically, we've had to be very creative about making, changes to projects that we've been running for 40, almost 50 years in some cases. But finding ways to get our long-term data sets collected, and it's been happening for the most part. On a global level, way less pollution than there has been at any time in recent history, and that's I think showing us, as like giving us a sense of optimism and motivating people to sort of take the initiative now and keep that momentum going. We've seen things like, wildlife moving back into areas that they hadn't been in for a long time because of all the human activities, now sort of quieting down. Adorable little bird called the snowy plover here in California is getting to use more of the beaches that they used to occupy, but had abandoned in part because so many people were out on the beaches before, and it's been much quieter recently. So there's a lot of hope and opportunity right now, and I think that's motivating for a lot of us.
I know I've definitely seen a lot more wildlife here in San Francisco, coyotes roaming the streets, and definitely louder birds in my backyard. So we've basically been living in one of the most extreme test cases of the human impact on the earth and on climate change. What would you say to the people who are saying that it hasn't made much of a difference?
I would disagree respectfully. I think it has made a huge difference. It's giving a lot of people some perspective on the scale of the problem. And, while we have reduced global emissions significantly, I think some people were hoping that it would do more to address climate change. But I think that it is motivating people internationally and nationally. United States re-engaging in the Paris Accord and engaging in the international dialogue around climate change is a huge step forward. General Motors announcing that they're ready to commit to no gas cars by 2035 is a massive, massive step forward. So this optimism and sense of hope and commitment to protecting our planet, I think, is coming from lots of different directions, lots of threads coming together. And I don't think it's an accident that it's happening in the context of sort of taking a pause from the really frankly kind of crazy routines that we've all been living with.
Yeah, crazy is one word for it, for sure. I definitely know my own backyard a lot better than I did a year ago, that's for sure. I'm personally committed to making a difference. For the rest of the people listening, how can they support your cause as part of their daily life?
Well, we definitely accept donations. We're not ashamed to admit that. We're a nonprofit organization, and about half of our funding does come from donations. The other half coming from government contracts and awards. We do accept volunteers, and we have volunteer opportunities. You can find out more about those things at our website, which is pointblue.org. There you can also find lots of information about the science we do. You can read our publications and summaries of them. There's opportunities to get involved in different projects that we're running. But in general, you don't have to support Point Blue. We just, hope that you'll be an advocate for science, model curiosity and inquiry and love of the natural world to your community, to your children. Bring a scientific approach to life in general. There's lots of opportunities, even in your backyard. Like you said, Brenda, lots of people know their backyards a lot better right now than they do a year ago. And as you start looking more closely, there's lots and lots to explore.
I really appreciate that, Grant. Thanks so much for spending time with us today and for sharing how Point Blue is making a difference fighting climate change here in the and everyone, stay tuned for future episodes containing more nonprofit insights from Armanino experts and clients.